Hello everyone, it is week 32, week 32's update, and I'm really sorry that I missed the last few. It was Christmas and it was hectic and everything was up in the air, and I lost the camera as well for a while. I was panicking, wondering where the hell it was. Turned out it was in the car. I don't know how it really got there, but hey, I found it. So yeah, here I am, and I just sat there. I was like looking at my other vlogs and stuff and kind of catching up on what I said last time, and I realised that I've spoken so much about the physical side of pregnancy, but I never really spoke about like the emotional side of it and how it's affected me over the weeks and how it still is really. And you know, pregnancy is a really emotional time. You got hormones, you got stresses, you got pressure, you got massive fears. You know, I don't think anyone can kind of like get close to giving birth without at least one meltdown, because hey, let's face it, the prospect of pushing a baby out of your vagina is pretty scary. But yeah, I just wanted to address the fact that this pregnancy has just been so different to the first that I had. You know, like with Teddy, everything was so plain sailing and upbeat, and I don't know if it's because it was my first pregnancy and I had time to wallow in myself and put myself first and sleep regularly and eat whatever I wanted when I wanted and take it easy. You know, I don't know if that might be something. There's probably something to do with it. This time has been much harder, but also, you know, I didn't really have much nausea with him, whereas this time I've been really nauseous, and all of that really wore me down. And I was just reflecting over everything, and I sat there and I thought, actually there's quite a lot I want to say, because there's two main points really, and that is, you know, like your sense, it's all around like sense of self. You know, I feel like my sense of self has been quite compromised this time round. You know, adjusting to being mummy anyway was massive first time round, and I feel like just as I was kind of getting in the swing of it, we fell pregnant again with you know, this time, and I hadn't planned it. You know, I hate the word accident. I'm not going to use the word accident. We'll use surprise, because it was a surprise and it's a pleasant surprise, but all surprises have a shock factor, and it's only really been recently that I've been feeling that shock factor kind of like wearing off, and I've literally come crashing back to earth with a bump, or with you know, with a bump. And yeah, I just wanted to address it, because I just suddenly realised that no one really does this. Everyone is constantly on about how amazing it is to be pregnant and how one should be proud of one's body and, you know, amazed by this amazing thing that's happening. And I get it, I really do. I'm on board with that. I agree. I think that it is an amazing thing, and I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful that my body works, and that, you know, I'm able to carry my children, and that I'm able to have a family, and I'm not contesting that at all. I thought it was time that, you know, I got real basically, and I was like, well, actually, it's not always plain sailing, it's not always brilliant, you know. Life isn't always sunshine, lollipops and roses. You know, there are some pretty crappy bits as well, and pregnancy is hard. It's really hard. And yeah, that's what I wanted to tell, the sense of self stuff, and that's mostly for me, that has been like my physical self and my work self, because they were the two things that, you know, I've really noticed a change in. I'll start with work. Like work, I'm a hair and makeup artist by trade, which you wouldn't know right now, just look past that. But I had a business, and I started it, what, 6 years ago, and I built up a good clientele and everything was great. And even when I went to have Teddy, everything was in place, you know, because I was able to work through my pregnancy, and then I took off, you know, the maternity leave of 9 months, and then I went back into work, and I had a plan, and it was doable, and I was managing. And then, you know, pregnancy 2 came along, and nausea hit, and I couldn't get out to work. It's a physical job, and you're talking and you have to be enthusiastic and concentrate and carry out all these different, you know, services and stuff, and I just couldn't do it. I had to admit defeat and stay in bed and stay on the sofa and eat ginger, you know, biscuits and drink peppermint tea. And as a result, the business that I built up started to dwindle, and it's no one's fault. I don't blame anyone for it. I don't even blame myself. It's just circumstantial. But that doesn't make it any easier. And seeing it, you know, kind of deplete and die, I guess, has been really, really hard this year. And I've had to adjust, and it hit me that, you know, when people are self-employed, it's really, really tough, because you don't, if you're employed by you know, a company, and you have a role in that company, you can go on your maternity leave, and you know that you know, when you come back to your desk, your chair will still be there, and you've still got your work to do, and that's fine. You just slot back in, and the most you have to deal with is the fact that you won't be with your baby, which, trust me, is bad enough. But to go through that and then also think, hang on a minute, have I got anything to go back to? That's pretty scary. And I'm sat here just thinking, wow, you know, I know how much it took to build something up when it was just me. And I know how much effort it took to go back to it and sustain it after I'd had one baby. But technically, to go back after having two and build something from scratch, yeah, it's just daunting me a little bit, you know. And I got quite angry. I got quite angry the other day and thought, you know, it's unfair that we have to make this choice. It's unavoidable. I mean, you know, what am I going to do? I'm not exactly going to be standing doing a haircut or having a contraction, am I? I can't be in two places at once. Oh, why have you got out of focus? Oh. I'm still here. So yeah, it's just unavoidable, and it's, like I say, it's no one's fault, but I got quite angry, and I had to kind of just vent it out, and have a cry and have a rant, and just, you know, you have to accept things. It's acceptance and realising that all is not lost. Just this week I started up a new venture that I'll hopefully be able to work around being mummy at home, and you know, I'm also working on my blog, and hoping that you know, that will kind of be something in the future. You never know if hard work pays off. So I've got, you know, I've got projects and dreams. I've always got those, but it's hard to let dreams that you did have go. You know, that's been pretty hard this week. And then, you know, the other sense of self, the physical self that I was talking about, you know, I looked in the mirror. I think I was probably about week 19, I think. I just didn't mention it on these vlogs, but I looked in the mirror and I was like, whoa, I do not recognise myself. You know, watching your body change, and change so drastically, as well as then dealing with the physical side of it and being in pain and blah blah blah, you know, it's rough. It's really rough. And I was kind of in denial, really. It took me ages to actually go out and like buy maternity clothes and stuff and make myself feel a bit more comfortable, because seeing that maternity label on the clothing was actually really hard. And that took me by surprise, because I just never thought I would feel like that. It's a weird psychology behind it. I know loads of people who embrace their bump and, you know, want to show it off and get those maternity stuff in and brandish the label really proudly and be like, I'm in a maternity stuff, you know. Whereas for me it was scary, and you know, the reflection that I got used to, the reflection I took pride in, and the reflection that gave me my sense of self, it just disappeared and became something completely different. And I hear about so many women becoming empowered and feeling really like sexy and stuff with their bump, and that just hasn't happened for me. I mean, you know, first time round I was just so amazed at what was happening to my body. I didn't really have time for the negativity to kind of creep in, but, or maybe even, I call it negativity. I get a bit annoyed about that, because, hey, let's face it, it's reality, you know. I think you're entitled to feel a bit like that. It's not like you make a choice. between positive and negative, it just comes in. But yeah, I never had that first time round. I never did. I was always so proud of my bump, and I could still fit in normal clothes as well. I think I carried so differently, whereas second time round you do tend to get bigger, and you do, you know, things just let go a little bit more, and I've had to adjust because of, you know, pain and stuff, and I've had to wear much more comfy clothing. So yeah, and even the other day I looked in the mirror, and I still do. I'm avoiding reflective surfaces because I just can't believe that it's me. I can't believe that there's this big bump, and I get daunted because I just think, wow, am I ever gonna be able to get back to that feeling again, that looking in the mirror and taking pride in myself? You know, it's quite hard, and I know I can. I know that nothing's permanent, and I know that there'll be people saying, you know, you can build up your business again, and you can lose weight and get your sense of physical self back again. But right now, in this moment, you know, that isn't helping, because you can't. It's a mindset, you know. When you're feeling this way, you know, you have to kind of work through it, and eventually you will see that. And rationalise and go, yeah, okay, this can be reversed. But right now the idea of that just daunts me. You know, and I looked around I looked on like Google. I was trying to like Google images and see if there was some sort of quote to go with this sort of post, and see if there was someone else feeling the same way. But everything's so empowering. Everything's like, oh, your body's doing an amazing thing. It's got life within, and it's tiger stripes. You should be proud of your tiger stripes. And I'm totally down with that. I mean, I love stripes, as you can see, and I have tiger stripes, and I am proud of them. And by no means am I slagging off my body and thinking, oh, it's, you know, it's ugly, it's this, it's that, because I am proud of it, and it is doing an amazing thing. But I don't recognise it, and that is a very scary feeling, and it made me sad. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about it because, hey, there might be someone else who's feeling the same, who's also Googling, trying to like look for someone who will actually get it, and hopefully they will stumble across this and think, yes, that person is totally on my page. So yeah, that in a nutshell, that's it. I'm sat here this week reflecting and just thinking, you know, I as much as I am grateful, as much as I am excited, as much as I love my baby, and as much as I am amazed that my body has managed this amazing feat so far and done it once before, there are negatives, there are downsides, and it's about time someone addressed them without feeling guilty or you know, on PC. Everything's got to be so positive and amazing. You've got to be so proud of your body. You know, sometimes you're allowed to sit there and go, do you know what, I'm a bit out of sorts with this. So yeah, that's what I've done. And hopefully next week, week 33, I'll feel a little bit more together, and I will have fought through this, and I will be in that mindset of, actually, don't worry, because everything will work out just fine. But for now, you know, I'm allowing myself to wallow. You know, I'm the elephant addressing the elephant in the room. So that's what I've done. So yeah, if you like this video, then don't forget to give it a nice thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you next week for another update, as long as I don't lose the camera in the car again. Alright guys, speak to you later. Bye.